I just want to share with you guys, one of the story that I had several years ago, and I just want to share it with somebody, just to spice a little bit of hope into the life of somebody, a little bit of encouragement. It was about the story of a donkey, you know. The donkey was being used by a farmer in those days. I don't know how true is the story, but I find the lesson in the story to be very powerful. I found the lesson in the story to be something that each and individual of us can use anytime we find ourselves in that kind of situation where the donkey found himself. So the story goes like this: that the donkey was just working in the farm with the owner of the farm, and it was plowing, and the donkey fell into an hole, a very big dish, like a hole, very big and very deep. And the owner tried to pull out the donkey from the hole. My God, to the ground. So, but the owner could not pull the donkey out. The owner couldn't by himself pull the donkey out of the hole because the hole is so deep. So the owner called for some other people to come and help him to pull out the donkey out of the hole. But all of them tried. They couldn't because it's so deep. They couldn't even see the donkey. So they were like, okay, so that they smell that there's no way. They just have to cover the hole so that other people will not step into the hole next time, so that, another donkey will not fall into it. So they give up on it, that there's no way they could pull out the donkey from the deep hole the donkey fell into. So they decide to cover up the hole, went to go and start digging a lot of stuff to cover the hole so that such occurrence will not, such event will not occur again. So they decide to bury to cover the hole. So they were pulling out a lot of sand, a lot of gravels, whatever they can find to cover the hole. While they were covering it, throwing everything inside the hole just to bury the donkey. Every time they throw in sand into the hole, the donkey will shake it off, step on top of the sand. They will throw a lot of stuff inside the hole. The donkey will shake it off and step on top of it. The donkey will shake it off and step on top of it. Before you know it, they could see the donkey. They could see that the donkey is very near to stepping out. They were shouting like, okay, pour it. And the more they were pouring this stuff inside, the more the donkey was shaking it off, stepping into it, shaking it off, stepping on top of those grounds. And eventually it got to a point that the donkey got to the hedge and it could step out of the hole. What is the lesson from this story? Is that the donkey used all what was meant to bury it. He shook it off and stepped on top of it and used what was meant to bury it as a stepping stone to step out of the hole that it fell into. So this is my point. I don't know what life is currently throwing at you. It may be in the area of your finances, your marriage, your work, your project, your health, even your relationship. I don't know. I cannot specifically say, this is what life is throwing at you, but you know what life is throwing at you. You know the hole that you find yourself right now. And you can look around you and it may seem as if the people that you are even expecting help from to help you, instead of them helping you, they are adding fire to the issue. They are even making it worse. People, just like the donkey was expecting the owner that, okay, just throw something down, just pull me out, and the owner tried and they couldn't, and they start to bury it. The donkey might be feeling like, I expect you to do more. I expect more from you. I didn't expect you to be the one trying to even bury me. But instead of the donkey wallowing in pain, wallowing in betrayal, wallowing in the fact that its owner even can thought about burying it, the donkey was using everything that was thrown at it to step out, stepping onto it. stepping on top of them, shaking it off and stepping on top of it. I want to tell you, people can disappoint you. No, I'm even talking about people that you look up to. Your father may disappoint you. Even in the time that you are going through some difficult moment, you may look at some people and say, okay, these people will be there. But the same people that you are looking up to, that they will be there for you, may not be there, may even be hiding, making it worse for you. They may even be hiding injury upon it, like they used to say. They may not be there to even give you the support that you need. But instead of you wallowing in regret, wallowing in betrayal, fuming about what people have done to you, instead of doing that, use it as to fuel your change. Use what people are throwing at you to fuel your change. Use what people are throwing at you to fuel the change that you are expecting, the thing that you're looking up onto God for. Don't let bitterness and hatred make you to remain in the place where you are. You cannot allow bitterness and hatred to make you to remain in the place where you are. If you desire a change, don't walk around getting bitter about everything that people have done to you. Instead, use what they are doing to you to feel the change that you are expecting. I've shared the story of how my dad asked me to go and get his money, the money that somebody is owing at him, from the person that he was, that was owing him. And I went to meet the woman, and the woman told me, my dad is on his sick bed. He was about to die. He died. My dad actually died from the sickness. And he told me that this woman is owing me a lot of money. Go and get the money. And I got there, and the woman told me that, do you think people go to school in your family? And all that. And this woman break down the history of my family to me. And I sat down and I look at it, that you are saying the truth, because nobody has ever graduated in my family. And she told me that there is no future for you. Just drop out. It's money I came to collect, but she didn't give me the money. Instead of giving me the money, she was adding, to the pain of seeing my father's falling sick. She was just adding to it. But I didn't go around being bitter about her. What she said was the main reason I passed, I excel in my study, was the main reason that in my HND 1 in accounting, I was in distinction, because I was studying like nobody has ever studied in my family. What the words of that woman were the propeller for my commitment to study, not to play trancy in class, not to play trancy in my subject. They were just fueling me to want to be good at schooling, at studying. So I want to use that also, the story of the donkey, to encourage you. Whatever people are throwing at you at this moment, whatever life is throwing at you at this moment, it can be a divorce. It can be somebody just sack you from your place of work. Instead of you to be bitter about what they have done to you, use that opportunity to empower yourself and to propel the change that you want. I remember one time like that, I was working in a company, and all the people in the accounts department, they sack all of us. They asked all of us to go. Every one of us in the account department. I could sit down and be crying about it. It was at that period that I started my first business. I started selling egg, going to Obasanjo's farm, driving my car to Obasanjo's farm, and I started doing wholesale egg, selling it in my area. I began to have customers. Don't ever use whatever life is throwing at you to keep you down. It may be somebody you love so much and the person disappoints you, and that event can make you to remain in the same position forever. But instead of you allowing that event to make you to remain there, use that event to better yourself and propel the change that you want. And let me tell you something, don't make a conclusion that is how life is for everyone. And you begin to go about some philosophy and begin to say, oh, no, you will do this, at the end of the day, this is what will result. And you become a philosopher and you never move past that event. Because that is one of the strategies of the enemy, to keep you in the same spot forever through bitterness. To keep you in the same spot forever through through betrayal of people who have betrayed you. You begin to get bitter forever. You never forgive them. You are bitter at life. You are bitter at yourself. And you remain in the same spot. That's one of the strategy of the devil, to make you to be stagnant in the same spot. But instead of using that, shake it off like the donkey. The donkey was shaking off everything that was thrown at it and was stepping on top of it. And the donkey used the same thing that they throw at it to get out of the hole that it finds itself. So hear me. Use the same situation and circumstances, the same events, the same words that people have spoken unto you, negative words that people have spoken at you. Let it propel you for the change you want. Every time you are pushing for the change, the progress, the advancement, the forward movement, and keep remembering those words of negativity that people have spoken at you to propel you not to stop. Anytime you wake up on the bed and you feel like, oh, I don't want to get up, let those words remind you that you have a negative word to beat, a negative word to conquer, a negative word to subdue. Let those things that people have done to you be the thing that is propelling you for change, and never be bitter about it. Situation of life can make you to be bitter or better. It depends on your perspective to it, your disposition to it. You can go through a divorce and you are bitter about men forever. You are bitter about life forever. You are bitter about situations and circumstances. Anytime you see people who are going to church, you hate them so dearly because you marry your man from the church. You can be bitter about life forever because somebody who you look up onto and you started a business with, and the person is the person that went about to go and cheat on you, to go and do a lot of things and collect the company from you, and you begin to get bitter about people that there's no friend in this world, though. There is no believer in this world, though. No. That should even tell you. I used to say something that the evidence of fake is the evidence that the original exists. Anytime you say a fake thing, it should tell you that there's an original somewhere. Because a fake thing is made out of the original. So it means that something good, something nice do exist. It doesn't mean that because somebody has disappointed, one person has disappointed, then everybody is a disappointment. Because somebody has not been faithful to you, then everybody is unfaithful. Because somebody cheated on you, everybody will always cheat on you. Because somebody did something to you that you cannot trust, everybody, you cannot trust them. No, you just have to be careful. So this is what I want to say. Whatever life is throwing at you, whatever people are throwing at you, instead of allowing it to make you to be stagnant, make you to remain in the same spot and bury yourself in regret, bury yourself in hatred, bury yourself in betrayal, and you'll never move past the point. Use the same thing to propel the change that you want. Use it to not to be discouraged about life, but to let them know that they will always be man. Because let me tell you something. The scripture says, who have said the thing and it has come to pass when the Lord has not approved it? Jesus, I like that. Who has said the thing and it has come to pass when the Lord has not said it? So I don't care who they are, they're men. I don't care the level of their spirituality, the level of their seniority to you. They are men. Whatever they have done to you, they are men. Whatever they have said to you, they are men. Whatever they have done to you, when it is not God, then there's an hope for you. There's hope for you. You cannot give up. You cannot give up because of things that life is throwing at you. 2020 might have been rough. 2020 might have been a very, very rough year. But you cannot let 2020 be bury you. You cannot bury your hope in 2020, and in 2021 you lack hope. There's no motivation to do things, to move forward. Oh, you need to shake it off. Shake it off. Shake those discouragement off. Those words of discouragement, those event of discouragement that have been thrown at you in 2020. Shake them off. Use them as a platform to step into the change that you expect in 2021. Let me tell you something. I was talking to somebody precisely 8 months ago, and the person said a word. That word is so discouraging. That word knocked out my hope. The word that the person said, it knocked out, that hope in my heart in Finland. And do you know what I said? I was like, no. I have been planning of, doing something to step out of this place, out of Finland before. But what the person said, when I woke up in the morning, the word is ringing. I can be better. Because the scripture says, lift up your eyes. He spoke to Abraham. He said, as far as your eyes can see from the place where you are, I will give unto you. That was the word that God gave to me to counter that. The word of discouragement that person has spoken unto me, like, get out of this place. And, very racist and very discouraging. But the scripture says, as far as your eyes can see, I will give unto you. And I took that word. Every time I woke up on the bed and I don't feel like going out, I will remember the word, that negative word, that the person spoke to me to bury my hope, to bury my progress in this place. And I shake it off. I step on top of it. Today, what the person has said, I have beaten it 100 times. Today, I have grown beyond it. The word become a springboard for me to propel myself into the future that the person cannot even dream of. That's what I want to say. As far as your eyes can see, from the place where you are, from the place of discouragement that you find yourself, from the place of disappointment that you find yourself, from the midst of that divorce, from the midst of that brokenness, oh Jesus, he said, as far as your eyes can see from the place where you are. Where are you now? In this very moment that you find yourself, how far can you see? As far as your eyes can see from the place that you are currently, whether Lagos, Nigeria, from the position that you find yourself, from the predicament you find yourself, if you can see, he said, I will give unto you, not only unto you, unto your children's children. How far can you see? See, you can't allow situation and circumstances to kill your dream, because that is the only thing you've got to get out of that place where you find yourself. That is the only thing you've got to get out of that predicament you find yourself. Visions and dreams. You can't allow situation and circumstances to kill it. Oh, I still bless you. Listen to this. I still bless. As far as your eyes can see, I will give unto you. How far can you see from the place where you find yourself? In that, oh Jesus, faithfulness to me. Who has said the thing and they have come to pass when the Lord has not said it? You can't allow the word of men spoken to you to be the finality of the event of your life. So this is what I want to understand. Don't allow words spoken to you by people, word of discouragement. Some people will look at you and commonize you. Some people will look at you and say, nothing good can come out of your destiny. It's okay. They're all only men. But don't be discouraged. Don't let that word become a stumbling block on your path. Just like that donkey, shake it off. And let it be a platform that you step into to get to where you are going to. Let it motivate you to get to where you are going. Don't let it be a point of discouragement, because it is as far as your eyes can see. If you can see it, you can dream your way out of discouragement, out of brokenness, out of hopelessness, out of nothingness. You can dream your way out of nothingness. Just shake off everything that life is throwing at you, every discouragement that life is throwing at you. Shake it off. You know a sheep. Do you know a sheep? Of course, a sheep does not go down the sea, doesn't sink into the sea until the sheep allow water to get into it. When the water gets into the sheep, that is when the sheep will sink. But as long as the sheep keeps the water outside and doesn't allow the water, the storms, everything to get inside it, the sheep will keep flowing. So I want to tell you, as long as you keep those word of men, the discouragement that you've encountered in 2020, the joblessness you've encountered in 2020, the nothingness that you've experienced, the hopelessness that you've experienced. As long as you do not internalize this, you don't allow them to get into you and discourage you and sink yourself into the hole. But if you can shake it off like the donkey, you can keep them out like a sheep, you will flow through this. You will flow through this, I promise you. So that's what I want to say. As long as if this water doesn't get into the ship doesn't sink. If you don't allow the hopelessness to sink the dreams that you have, the inspirations, the aspirations that you have, the vision that God has given unto you, don't allow those events, the discouragement, the joblessness, the sack, the divorce, the betrayal of people, the mistrust, the lie of people. If you don't allow it to get into you, to sink your ship of hope, then you will flow through this. So shake it off. Shake it off. Shake them off. Keep them outside. Don't internalize it. Don't let them devour your hope, your vision, because that is the only thing that can get you out of where you are right now. As far as your eyes can see, from the place where you are, I will give unto you. You can dream your way out of nothingness. You can dream your way out of poverty. You can dream your way out of discouragement. You can dream your way out of any fear you find yourself. Put your faith in Jesus. Let me. Foundation, you never let me down. I put my faith in Jesus. My anchor to the ground. My open firm foundation. Let's shake it up. Eh? I want to dance. My faith in Jesus. My anchor to the